Hey, my name is Josh and I'm a biohacker for entrepreneurs. And in today's video, we talk about having energy on fix our energy crisis without stimulant abuse. So, literally, what I am going to cover in this 10-minute video is why entrepreneurs all fall for stimulants and why they keep crushing it and using more and more and more and more and think that their energy depends on how much coffee they drank today. In front of me, I have a 5-step process that covers the 5 core steps that we'll run through in the next 9 minutes. So everything is set, and after this video, you might rethink your coffee usage. So with no further ado, let's go. So first of all, step number 1 is you need to diagnose the entrepreneur's or high performer or literally everyday human being energy trap. Because living on caffeine and cortisol is actually guaranteed burnout. Don't get me wrong, I love coffee too, okay? I love to, drink a cup of coffee, and I kind of every single day have coffee. I sometimes have one, I sometimes have two, and rarely I have three, but kind of never more. And in the end of the video, by the way, I will give you a rule how much caffeine you should take and why not more. And actually, why caffeine is not good for your life and actually gives you this downside spiral. But first of all, caffeine, or the cool part about caffeine is, it makes you more awake. But in the end, it doesn't make you more awake because the effect of caffeine is actually that it makes you less sleepy. So whenever you feel that you are more focused, more energized, and more awake with caffeine, that actually means that you work more towards your sleep deprivation. So when you have a huge coffee effect, or without, drinking 8 cups of coffee a day, when you have a huge coffee effect, and that means that you are most likely to be sleep deprived, or when you need to wake up with coffee, are sleep deprived. Because this coffee actually means false productivity. Because these stimulants that you use are just masking your dysfunction. And that is the dysfunction of your deprived sleep. So you need to, step 2, stabilize the metabolic base. So have consistent meals, have a protein dominance, have glucose control, and have no insulin spikes, and fix your sleep. I know, I get it. We as entrepreneurs, as high performers, we think that we don't have enough sleep. Some days that is true. Sometimes even I, as a biohacker, only can sleep 6 hours. But by the way, therefore, there are substances and supplements and stuff out of that that actually can create great results after 6 hours of sleep. The sleep length doesn't tell you how sleep deprived it is. The sleep quality does it. So, for example, you now can have 9 hours of sleep and have a less better sleep than I have with 6 hours because I use the stuff. If you want to use it, check first thing in the description. No advertisement, just do it. But please, 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 caffeine is not a replacement for sleep. Okay? So whenever you think, oh, today I only can sleep 4 hours because then I drink 5 coffees today. And the problem with that is when you drink coffee or caffeine in coffee, actually decreases your sleep quality. And what now happens is you start with 0 coffees, sleep one day short. Next morning you feel tired, and now you think, well, I need a coffee. Then you drink a coffee, feel awake, you drink another coffee to feel more awake, but you drink it in the evening. Now what happens is maybe you can't sleep in, but the sleep quality will be worse. When you have something like Oura Ring or Whoop, they monitor it. try to drink a coffee in the evening and try to sleep. When you can't sleep in, that means the caffeine is kicking. When you can sleep in, then that means that caffeine is kicking too, but not that hard that you even can't sleep in. But the sleep quality will be always worse. Caffeine always creates a worse sleep quality. And there is a simple rule you can use. Caffeine is hard to track, and it's hard to know when caffeine is actually completely out of your body. But the rule is that half of your caffeine is out after 6 hours. For example, an ordinary coffee has 80 milligram caffeine. So that would mean that to get it completely out, it would take days. Because after 6 hours, we have 40. After 6 hours, after 12, we have 20. After 6 hours, the 18, we have 10. After 6 hours, 24, we have 5. After 6 hours, 30, we have 2.5. After 6 hours, 36, we have 1.25. And then it's okay. So it literally means 1 cup of coffee actually is in your blood for around about 2 days. Okay? And then now there are people who, drink coffee every day, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means their baseline is literally 200 milligram caffeine. That means you have worse sleep because your body is full of caffeine. And the worst part now is you wake up with caffeine, okay? You wake up with your caffeine level, and your subjective view of your wakefulness, of your readiness is bad because caffeine is the 200 milligram caffeine is now your baseline, and you need to drink coffee to wake up. And now you have 240. And then you drink another coffee, you have 300. And it goes down, but then you go to bed and wake up with 240 milligram. And then you think, well, I don't feel that good, let's drink a coffee. And this spikes up, and this spikes up and spikes up, and one day you will crash. One day you will sleep horrible, one day you can't recover properly, and one day you will actually think this coffee stuff's not good. I love coffee, but I know how to use it. So for example, I only eat 2 coffees every single day for 5 days straight, and that I start with one for 2 days, Monday, Tuesday, drink 2 coffees, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then drink 0 coffees, Saturday, Sunday, to reset and bring my baseline close to 0. And then after that, I wake up, I can drink coffee, and I feel energized with the coffee because the effect of the caffeine is actually affecting me, and my body actually responds to a low dose of caffeine. And that only can be done when you have a proper sleep. So only when you have good sleep, when you not sleep like garbage, then you can drink coffee. So every single human being tells you that coffee is good when you are sleep deprived, but actually coffee makes the sleep deprivation even worse. I would recommend to go through the sleep deprivation and only take coffee when you have good sleep and when you know that the day after that you will have great sleep. So sleep cuts your brain fog in half. And step number 4, I wrote this down, but actually you don't need to know that. Step number 3 was, by the way, sleep. Step number 4 is the sauna, cold exposure, micro naps, mobility resets, and this little real energy structuring, this real energy gaining, gym, going outside in the sun, eating something that is not high carb throughout the work time. These things that get energy. By the way, I tell you this every single day on my YouTube channel. I talk about these topics every single day, but maybe you haven't heard about it. So watch all my videos, or my next videos, I will tell this to you. Use real energy things because, of course, substances and all that stuff can be useful for certain scenarios, but they should not be the baseline. Some supplements should be the baseline, and some people have, lived for 30, 40 years a horrible life, and they now need to replace it with harder substances or want to achieve more than the ordinary thing or want to be, a biohacker literally, then of course there are substances that can help you too. But that shouldn't be your baseline. Most of the time, only supplements are enough. It's okay. But when you have too much caffeine in your system, you are literally about to crash. That is it. So rethink your caffeine intake. And the last one is step 5, that is fruit rule where I talked about, is if you need more than 2 cups of coffee a day, if you need more than 2 cups of coffee a day to feel good, the system is broken and not optimized. So if you feel great with 1 coffee every single morning, continue doing it. It's great. You're doing a good job. But more than 2 is not that great. And I know science tells you everything over 400 milligram is bad, everything under is good. But you get in this, in the spiral very, very quick. And with 1 or 2 cups of coffee, you can monitor it easy and you can go back down. But going to zero from 400 milligram of caffeine, that are 5 cups of coffee a day. Yeah, 5 cups of coffee a day. It's way harder than from 1 or 2. And therefore, I have the rule of 2. Hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.